excited to bring to you the 20th webinar of Energy Evaluation Asia Pacific, which focuses on the topic of from evidence to policy, innovative evaluation methods for sustainable energy and waste to energy system. Uh, I would like to inform you all that this webinar is being recorded, and please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, sharing your name, country, and your organization. This is quick overview of the agenda. We will start with welcome remarks and background of the webinar by Edward Wine, who is steering committee member of Energy Evaluation Asia Pacific and an affiliate at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. Then we will have presentations from our speakers, Ahmed Fayaz from Pakistan, who will be talking about new and evaluation methodologies. And Sadeep, if he makes it to the webinar, he will be talking about evaluating the multiple benefits of sustainable energy and waste to energy systems. We will have around 15 minutes of discussion, and we will be closing the webinar at 10 a.m. sharp. Without further ado, let me invite Dr. Edward Wine for welcome remarks and background of the webinar. Ed, over to you.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. So I just want to provide some introductory remarks before we proceed with the speaker or speakers. About Energy Evaluation Asia Pacific. It's, as we say, a community of practice specializing in energy evaluation across the Asia Pacific. It's a nonprofit established in 2018. It's modeled after the ones we organized, created in the US. That's been going on since 1983, and the one in Europe since 2010. Each of them have their conferences every 2 years. And each of them are a community that supports evaluation. For us, it supports evaluation of energy policy and programs in Asia Pacific. And our mission is to take a leadership role in expanding the practice of and capacity for objective evaluation in the energy efficiency, renewable energy program, and policy arena. And we have several strategies to implement that. We develop resources and expertise to answer a number of questions, including what actions pay off, how can energy programs and policies be improved. And often these programs and policies are small scale. So how do we scale them up to larger, covering a country or a region in the Asia Pacific? And at the end of the day, we want to foster the development of self-sustaining evaluation communities, workshops, conferences, webinars, and other web-based tools. Our focus has been a collaborative approach. We work with different stakeholders, including governments, NGOs, research institutions, and industry to help them drive policy change, particularly using the results from evaluation. So it's data-driven decision-making. We try to emphasize the importance of robust evaluation data analysis to inform these decisions. And we do this through capacity building, as I mentioned, initiatives for policymakers and stakeholders through workshops, knowledge sharing platforms, and technical assistance programs. And we prioritize post-implementation monitoring and evaluation, not pre-implementation, but post. We have a structure for our organization. We have a steering committee, a large advisory committee, and a coordinator. Nazir, who's organizing this webinar, is our coordinator. We meet monthly as a steering committee member. Why evaluation? For some people who aren't really informed about evaluation, I offer this quote that a colleague of mine provided at the end of last year. And I'm going to read it because I think it's important. At a moment when societies face unprecedented technological and environmental risk, the role of science has never been more critical. From climate change to artificial intelligence, evidence-based decision making is indispensable. Yet public trust in science is eroding and political support for scientific institutions is weakening. So this paradox threatens not only effective policymaking, but the long-term capacity of societies to anticipate, adapt, and innovate. For EEAP, we focus, as I mentioned, on policy adoption and implementation, behavioral change, and economic and environmental benefits. And we should hear more about the latter if our second speaker arrives and he can talk about multiple benefits where that occurs. We do have a number of avenues to reach out to folks, and I hope some of you have participated and linked and LinkedIn on LinkedIn as well. We have a website and we have our email address where people can go to as well and ask questions. And then all our webinars have been recorded, and the recordings are available on YouTube, and you can listen to past ones as well as future ones. And the last link is our website. We do have a webinar scheduled in August. I put my time. For people in Asia Pacific, it'll be the next day on August 7th. Its title of the webinar is Financial De-risking of Energy Efficiency Markets to ensure improved performance of technologies. And we have two speakers from the International Institute for Energy Conservation based in Manila. I'm sure many of you have heard of this institute. Sanjay Dube and Samai Fan Anuasuk will be talking, and that'll be in August. But I also wanted to emphasize and highlight we are going to have a virtual conference. That's going to be October 1st of this year, starting at 10 a.m., going to 2 p.m. Bangkok time. We have a call for abstracts out now, and we're asking people to submit by July 15th. We have the key themes here: just and inclusive energy transitions, evaluating progress toward net zero, climate accountability and multiple benefits, evaluation methods, data and innovation, and then energy security, finance, and resilience. And you can reach out to us at this email where where you can get more information, as well as on our website. And I provided that to you as well as through LinkedIn. And I hope many of you are on LinkedIn, where we provide updates to what we're doing in the conferences there on our page on LinkedIn. Today's webinar, we have two speakers. The title of the webinar is From Evidence to Policy, Innovative Evaluation Methods for Sustainable Energy and Waste Energy Systems. Fayez will be our first speaker, and then Sadeep will be our second speaker. So I think that is there. I'm going to stop sharing and hand it over to Fayaz, and I'm going to have some introductory remarks for Fayaz. He's a monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning specialist with nearly 2 decades of experience in emergency response, humanitarian assistance, and international development program. He's worked with many international organizations in this area, and his expertise spans both monitoring and evaluation systems, data analysis, health education, climate change adaptation, humanitarian response, and organizational learning. The bio, of course, is in our announcement. I'll just close because I want to make sure we have enough time for him. He does work with diverse communities and research institutions, and works closely with Germany's Madiba group on evaluation and research initiatives. So I'll hand it over now to Fayaz, and you can start sharing your screen and your show. And you'll have, again, 15 minutes, perhaps more. Sadeep, for some reason, hasn't been able to join, but we're hoping he can. So, Fayez, take it away. You'll need to put your, yeah, looks good.
Thank you. Thank you, Edward and Nazir, for detailed introduction and for all the time you provided me for the presentation. My topic is innovative evaluation method for sustainable energy use or for sustainable energy mechanisms. My presentation used the references from the LNAB, from DEC, LNAB, DEC, from Jeff Independent Evaluation Group, from UNHCR, from Local Evaluation Week, from different. I use the references. And our presentation will cover the mostly the steps of evaluation, which are in general and globally all we know about them. Then how we can use the innovative ways like ethical risk or leave no one behind. Then how we can strengthen the evaluation or how can evaluation be trusted. Then the use of AI in the evaluation, and then I quoted as an example the impact evaluation and leave no one behind. And then we can go on just depending on the time. Anyhow, the slide will be shared with from the evaluation Asia Pacific team, energy evaluation. We will try to cover these topics. For evaluation journey, we have whenever we start the evaluation framework or evaluation is started, then these are the general steps. When it depends on the internal or external evaluation, whether we design TORs. Internally, we can also design TOR mostly for the consultant or for the third party. We design TORs for any evaluation. Then the whole process of procurement and bidding goes on. And when the evaluation is awarded, then we start our evaluation from the planning, and then all the objectives and details of TORs are covered during the planning. Then we go through the data collection, then we analyze, then we report, and then we act upon or embark upon all the evaluation process. There are further details in the coming slides regarding these 5 steps. And there are other steps also which covers within these 5 steps. And the evaluation is always built upon the interconnected component, not a single method. And typical evaluation moves from interconnected these 5 steps, and selecting the appropriate evaluation methods depends upon our budget, our evaluation questions, and then with the planning of the project team that how they want to see them. In the further slides, we will cover these things also. Then evaluation, how we can see the evaluation, then we know that the general question we always see in all the TORs are when we talk about evaluation, and globally this is defined by the OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Coordination, which is previously about the 35 countries members organization, which defines the DEC criteria of Evaluation Development Assistance Committee that contains 35 countries. And their 6 criteria are widely used for all programming for energy sector evaluations as well. Then these six criteria, we will discuss them also. Then when we see the evaluation, then this is designed for disaggregation. Whenever we talk about data, when we talk about the field work, then the cross-cutting things that M&E or evaluators or consultant, they look for the gender segregations, and then there is the include all approach, then there is the leave no one behind. These approaches and the data will be gathered across the board basis on the segregations. Then seek genuine participation. We will also talk about in leave no one behind approach that when we talk about the participation, then in our all the program activities while seeing the objectives and goal of the program and all the framework approaches, then we go for the genuine participation. If we are going for the better evaluation or innovative, we use the innovative ways of evaluation. Like women group, like grassroots organization, there are minorities, then there are the special people, then there is the like transgender or other minorities. One is religious minorities, or then are the sexual minorities. We try to cater them if they are in the program cycle, or if the program document talk about all types of them, or if the program is not talking about, then we take it as a learning that who should be included in the evaluation process. And the evaluation always look for the concrete results. Concrete results means that there are the anecdotal evidences like reports, like field visits. When we ever we talk about the education methodology, I am not covering in this presentation the sampling of the methodology process. Sampling also give you the detail, or we can cover it in our next sometime other webinar in future. We are talking about the strategic or general things. We are not digging about each and every point of the evaluation process. And when we talk about the concrete results, then there is not only the output, then we go for the outcome and impact that is also measured, that must be measured during the evaluation. Test for depth of inclusion, we talk about this also. Secondly, evaluation, when we talk about the evaluation, that should be trusted or the credibility of the team and the consultant, which we show when we are doing all that work or when we start the evaluation till to the end of the cycle. Then evaluation can be trusted while we are when we are adopting different processes. Then with the passage of time, then when you are engaging stakeholders, they also have the point of view how that evaluation is conducted. Then evaluation must be credible. Credibility means foundation of every recommendation, that there is the research based or detail with the references that make evaluation credible. And nowadays, we cannot do anything without, we can do the thing before, but currently in the recent decades, we have the AI or technology part, which is important to integrate in our evaluation processes. That can also strengthen or weaken the credibility. AI has an aspect. We talk about different tools slightly, and then we talk about the artificial intelligence used in the evaluation processes. Then ethical safeguards are essentials, and integrity of the AI supported evidence is also important. By this, we can make our evaluation trusted and credible also. Then when we use innovative ways, then it makes our evaluation more credible and more trusted one, where that whole journey talk about our credibility each and every steps. Now, there are few things when NGOs they are doing the evaluation or when during evaluation where we see in our experiences that they do some things that are gray, like collecting data without clear purpose. Mostly we have seen there are number of tools, there are number of in the templates which were circulated with the passage of time in the project duration, then they should have the clear practices. In our further slide, we also talk about that abundance of data or much data does not mean the credibility. The utilization and purpose of collecting the data that is important, and that also includes the completeness, your relevance, precision, and then there are the DQA standards like integrity, reliability, timeliness. All those standards should be observed during the evaluation process of the energy sector. Focusing on activities instead of outcomes. Focusing on activities means we go for the output only, or we just see the training has carried out or not, we see the activities performed or not. Mostly program team people, they are in the completion of the targets. The important thing is the value addition or the attribution of that output, whether that created a short term outcome, medium term outcome, long term outcome, or which also outcome also gives us the impact or when we achieve the goal. Then when we talk about evaluation, then we need to see that there is the focus of the evaluators on the activities, or they are focusing the impact and outcome also. Then there are weak and unclear indicators. We all know about this. If there is no baseline, that also affects the progress measurement of the project activities. Then we have used sometime the memory recall system for benchmarking, and then we are going to go for the end line of that activity or that project during our evaluation. It depends on the project modality and the objective of the evaluations in which are defined in the TOR. Treating M&E as a reporting exercise, whether that M&E was there for the program intelligent design or not, that they are just merely reporting. There is the follow-up mechanism, there is accountability, are the learning session, there are the reviews of the project. All those things we can see. If we are not seeing, then we are doing mistakes during our projects. And limited donor or stakeholder involvement. Stakeholders means they are the government agencies, they are the peer local communities, CSOs, there are the communities, all they are all involved or not. Then we see the Isaac quadrant for the stakeholder measurement, that there are the who has influence and who has the interest in the project. Then we divide it in four sections in like in the Isaac quadrant, that gives you the analysis of the stakeholder involvement. Then for failing to use finding for decision making means if M&E is providing the report and they are bringing the findings with the evidence, and then if there is no follow-up and there is no use of that exercise or reports, then also gives you the behind the project team for the evaluation or for the project success, that also hampers the success of the project. Then AI is reshaping how evidence is made. Means AI, everyone knows about. There are so many AI tools. Everyone has their own strength, and we can, for example, for writing, what we are using for designing, for animation, for videos, all those. There is no time to talk about each and everything, but we can all explore. Then the use of AI, or when we are talking 30 years back, then at that time technology and use of computers started. mostly 30, 40 years back. Now the use of AI started in this era in almost a decade. Then AI is transforming evaluation practices, automated data analysis increasing almost most of the international or mostly national also have the online system like MNEIS, that like MIS, like a management information system. They also have the like they in the ERP, enterprise resource. There is another software for operations, and are the many softwares for the data management for MNE information system. For example, somewhere we are using TOLA data, somewhere we are using customized online software, somewhere we are using different organization software. That also gives you the AI based, and it's a reshaping means that processes are automatically transformed. Then you can go through the presentation. Some slides I need to go quickly while seeing the time. Then AI across the evaluation cycle, that when we are using AI, then there is the data collection tool enabled capture data faster and greater scale. When we are using online tool, I talk about the different tools in my coming slide. Then that gives you the faster and greater scale result and gives you the more accuracy and precision while using AI tools in the data collection process. It automatically gives you the table, it automatically gives you the graph. You can have a different condition for the data cleaning purpose while using the logic of the different online software, as we mostly use freeware, ODK. There are other, we will talk about them. Then machine learning analysis, we are using predictive model, automated reporting policy simulations. All offers enormous opportunity, and when we are using AI, enormous opportunity which are offered by the AI, then it gives you the speedy result. It gives you you can play with the larger data within the national or international level. It scale up also, and it gives you the efficiency that in a less time. In my 20, 25 years back experience, it took months to conduct the evaluations. Now our months work comes into the weeks, and weeks work comes into the days because of the use of the technology and AI mechanism. Then we can do big data analysis easily, perform forecasting as well, like we can by the use of AI or by the use of online software tools, we can have draw lesson learned and forecast for the future programming of 5 year, 10 years long-term projects also. Then this is the evaluation toolkit when we are using technology. Like for digital data collection, we have the COBO toolbox, ODK, we call it also. ONA is organizational network analysis software that also gives you this required the license. And Water is also freeware app that can also provide you the facility like ONA. We can use logic, we can use skip logic for the type of question that we are collecting. Then with the MS Office, there is MS Form, and then Google survey mechanism that is also being used. Then for the quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis, it depends on the individual expertise. Not everyone have been using same software. It depends. Some people are good in SPS, some people are good in R Stata, some people are good in Excel. And as much as software we are using for our quantitative and qualitative analysis, they are also giving us the innovative ways of analysis and give us this great scalability and speed. Then there are the visualization ways and designing and planning, data ethics, leave no one behind, informed consent, confidentiality. Then data protection also involve that responsible use of the data. The most important tool is the judgment that comes from experience. Then, when we trust depends on the transparency, when we are talking about the trusted evaluation or evaluator trust, that comes because of reliability, transparency, verification, and then accountability, because these things are both ways. And then AI reflects the data used to train its algorithm bias, many use of data, misuse of data, lack of consent. Sometimes, if we are manipulating risk or there are the lack of consent, then use to train it. When we have the clear concept why we are using it, gives you the clear, because AI mirrors its training data. It outsource can carry hidden ethical risk, because individual involvement and the expert opinion of the evaluator is very much important when we are using AI. That every time it gives you the precautions that this is my point of view. Everyone context is maybe the different. Then principle to guide AI supported evaluation, or the principle we are using in the evaluation that can be guided, that also guided because of AI supported fairness, transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, human oversight, then context. Then, whenever we are talking about the tool, we should keep in mind that AI always a supportive, or it can assist evaluator work. AI cannot be a substitute for the professional evaluation expertise. Means AI can never replace human. It gives you the assistance for speedy, reliable, fair, for accurate result. And we can use the judgment, context, meaning, or we can interpret those results by using AI. It depends on the professional evaluation expertise or the person who is experienced in the evaluation. Human involvement is the must. No matter how capable AI becomes, evaluation is ultimately a human responsibility, or it remains the human responsibility while we are gauging energy sector project. And there, I also strengthened the professional standard. Please let me know when I just need to stop, and then we can go on. Responsible AI use requires evaluators to actively strengthen their professional standards. Then AI can strengthen the evaluation by using the technology, by using the AI use. Then it gives you the speedy, accurate, reliable result. But we have to use our judgment and experience. Evaluators, they can use it well, and it improves evaluation practices. Then we are a few two examples like why we conduct evaluation, impact evaluation, and why how we can use the leave no one behind approach. And
Uh,
then,
Fayaz,
yes,
since our second speaker um, is
okay,
not available, and he's calling from Nepal, which I understand has some serious monsoon weather and thunderstorms. He may not be able to participate. Why don't you continue? And I'll
okay, thank
interrupt
you.
later. Uh, so please continue. It's very interesting.
Thank you, and I will also be listing the question as well. When to conduct an impact evaluation? Because mostly whenever we talk about the evaluations, those are the two main categories: one formative evaluations and summative evaluation. Formative evaluations, those are during the program or in the middle of the program, that can gauge only the short-term outcomes, or how the process is going on using those six criteria other than sustainability. Then when mostly we go for the evaluation, summative types of evaluation like project end evaluation, final evaluation, ex post evaluation, or the thing is, whenever we talk about impact evaluation, we need to consider few things in our mind why we are going for the impact evaluation. Mostly globally, people use the jargons, but their jargon should have the meaning behind the or the basis behind using those jargons. Evaluation, everyone knows evaluation, but what is impact evaluation, what is ex post evaluation, or what are the categories of the summative evaluation there needs to know while thinking of planning about the exercise. Here we are giving the only one example why we are using impact evaluation or when we should use impact evaluation or when why or why we conduct or why we go for the impact evaluation exercise. Then is the program new and we want to gauge the impact of that program? Is randomized assignment feasible? Is scaling, expansion, or attribution of the goal? Whenever we are doing activities, then what we want to achieve and what we achieve additionally, that is the attribution in USAID and other terminologies. Attribution is the value addition, what we get as a result of one activity. For example, we want to scale 100 schools or we want to gauge 100 schools as in the impact evaluation, and then their impact goes on 200 schools. That 200 increases the attribution because of our intervention we achieved more. Are the groups large enough for causal judgment? Means that we need to see the multi-stage cluster sampling. Is the program realistic scope for impact evaluation? Then we also talk about in next slide when to do that impact evaluation or when not to do that impact evaluation. Evaluation Impact evaluation can be considered for scaling or replication is planned. Means we want to scale up that pilot project or that current project and we are planning to go for the next phase. Then contribution needs to be demonstrated that there are the good example, good practices available. Knowledge gap exists, that knowledge management or communication or M&E sometime there is the specialized job as a knowledge management specialist also in the organization, but some organization do knowledge management from the communication or development, professional development, business development people, or sometime M&E is doing knowledge management role as well. The intervention is stable or measurable or not. In those, if we have yes in all these questions, then we go for the impact evaluation. Impact evaluation is not appropriate when the counterfactual cannot, means when we don't see the results or impact in the long term. The program is in still in early development. Like some projects, they give you early impact, for example, food one or health one. And for the education sort of projects, you get the impact after the decade, sometime or after 5 years. We need to think about the program cycle, whether that we have the sufficient result and it is worthy to go for the impact evaluation, and the evidence and the question and measuring indirect effect is not feasible. It also depends on the our do or not to do while seeing all these measures or variables. We need to count all these parameters whether we want to go for the evaluation or not. Secondly, yeah, when we are using evidence and because of technology, this gives you the faster result. And then how evidence is generated. We need to see all the process, how evidence is synthesized, how evidence is communicated. But more evidence does not automatically lead to better decision. It depends on the relevance, it depends upon the precision, what intended outcomes or output we want to achieve from those activities. Then it depends, the abundance of the data, like we talk about that, this does not mean we are collecting data and the important thing is utilization and how we can interpret and what are the results are getting from those data.
I think we should try to finish up now. If you have
Yes, just
one
in a
or
minute.
two more slides, that'd be
Yes,
great.
thank you. More data does not mean credibility, that decisions takes context, uncertainty, timeliness. That means meaningful data or credible evidence, which we see during whole innovative evaluation processes for energy sector evaluation. Is the data rich environment appropriate, trigger not sheer volume is with what builds credibility. Means there is the data environment, but the purpose of getting data and with that mostly what we do, we use M&E framework, we use indicators, and on the basis of indicators we create tools, and those tools give you the reliable data. But if everyone is generating, building the tools, collecting the data, putting in the reports, that does not mean credibility. Innovation trust is strengthened to collective interpretation. Means this whole exercise need collective efforts, context, dialogue, human judgment. As AI can only identify the patterns, summarize the information, accelerate synthesis, but interpretation still depends on the people, or the human involvement is also important. What trusted practice requires going forward? That clear decisions, intent clearer, then proportional rigor, human oversight, stronger facilitation of the evidence. Then the important is that when we are talking about the ethical things, how we involve leave no one behind approach, or no harm while involving everyone, then this is about the participation during the evaluation exercise. And during evaluation, we see the participation of the whole society segments during the project tenure. And participation has the different levels, whether that participation was remained instrumental, or before instrumental there is the representative, means they are only coming and sitting in the meetings as a representative only, they are not talking. And if they are instrumental, they sometimes few people talk. Are the participation as the transformative, the changes in the results, like we are looking into the outcome in M&E and impact, that those participation transfer in the transformative result. Our last stage of the participation is the ownership, that people adopt and fully involved in every activities or in the project cycle.
I think
Then,
we'll end here. Is that okay?
okay, yes, just in a half
Okay.
minute, that leave no
We're sort
one
of out of
behind.
time now.
Yes.
And
New
your slides will be
methodology.
made available for to cover
Okay.
all the other
Yes.
ones. So I want to thank
Yes,
you.
giving to the two examples of new evaluation innovation practices. This is Michael Patton
Right.
evaluation
Okay.
periodic table. They defined all the steps in a periodic table way. This also gives you the good flow of evaluation steps. And then
Right.
it's difficult to show this here. There all things are defined in the grid, and you can go to the website. Then there is the rainbow evaluation framework that also defined all those steps which we talk about. Here in our discussion, we missed the sampling, and because of time, we just think about talk
Yeah.
about just things. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, thank you. You've covered a lot. As I said earlier, I'm sorry the second speaker couldn't participate. Perhaps in the future we'll have that person present. You have a lot of information here. Before I ask are there anybody um, who's been listening? If you have any questions, please put it in the chat and we can try to answer, or unmute yourself as well. We're happy. There's not a lot of people on the call, so that would work as well. Um, the question I have is you cover a lot of what's going on and what needs to be done in evaluation. What about if I'm a new evaluator and I'm young? I just graduated from college. Where do I learn uh, about evaluation and try to find out more references I can learn more about it? So I guess what are the opportunities for people who are just graduating from college, say, and to get involved in evaluation? What do you recommend?
Okay, thank you so much. Then I was thinking about my time 25, 30 years back when we want to see the resources or reference material. The only first book I read at that time was the Oxfam M&E Toolkit, means that was available. Now we are in the era of information that we have the YouTube, we have every browse, we can browse everything, whatever comes in our mind. Like I find interesting the M&E universe. M&E universe gives you the flow charts of your how you if you are making M&E systems, it gives you 7 8 steps. M&E universe, if you Google it, I will share the link of that one also. And then it talk about the M&E plan, then it talk about the uh, theory of change, then how we can create a log frame or a logic model. All the M&E or evaluation components it discussed in a very means flow charts or in a different steps, and then it defines the steps also as well, like you can zoom in, zoom out. M&E universe I found interesting. Then the LNAP is there. Then better evaluation is also there. Whatever we can think, we can explore that. And M&E or meal or evaluation stuffs and in energy sector like energy evaluation Asia Pacific, we have designed a better one resource. All the webinars are recorded. There are many others activity info. They are providing information nationally and internationally. There are many forums, those who are providing resources or information as a practice. But sorry to just adding that there are the online software like Max QDA and Vivo, Power BI, they required mostly license. Some of them are freeware also.
Is there a path going forward for young evaluators? They're wondering, should I join government um, and be an evaluator within a government agency, or should I work for a consulting firm or either non-profit or a for-profit firm? Any idea where they would sort of get the most bang for the buck?
Thank you, sir. The thing is that whenever our new or young evaluators in Pakistan, we have Youth Evaluation Society. Like I am also the member of Pakistan Evaluation Association. Our Mr. He is the president.
Right.
Then also created the youth evaluation groups. They have their own webinars and sessions. One is that internationally, like we have the evaluation Europe Evaluation Society, like we have the platform evaluation Asia Pacific, we have the evaluation webinar. It depends on one interest and self-interest, how he want to go. Like LinkedIn, or there are other professional networks, and they can join the groups, professional groups, like we are in the M&E group, like I am the German Madiba group evaluator. They assess you first or they give you the learning opportunity. There are disaster ready and other websites. There are so many which we can join them. We can attend the training sessions. We can register ourselves with the passage of time. The knowledge
Right.
increase.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. On the Energy Evaluation Asia Pacific website, we have a number of universities listed offering evaluation courses. So I encourage people later to explore our website for that purpose alone. It needs to be updated a little, and one day we hope to do that. But I agree, there are a number of associations in each of the countries just about in Asia Pacific, an evaluation association, not energy. That's why we're here to emphasize the energy side, but definitely the associations are getting much more interested over the years since we started, particularly on climate change and sustainability, and looking at the evaluation components of that. So I think on
Yes.
that note, Nazir, do you, let's see, yeah, no questions from the participants. So I'm going to hand it over to Nazir for his concluding comments. And I don't know if Ayaz know, Nazir is based in Islamabad. So we have a lot of, I've learned a lot today and as well as Nazir about what's going on in evaluation and in Pakistan. So, Nazir.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank
Thanks a lot. Thanks for us. That was a very insightful presentation. Thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge with everyone. We couldn't get our other speaker, Sadeep, due to some connectivity issue, but hopefully we will get him in our next webinar. I have put a couple of links in the chat. You can follow our LinkedIn page, our website, YouTube channel, get to see all our previous webinars and presentations from the conferences. As Ed shared, we have our own virtual conference happening in October, and the deadline to submit abstract is July 15th. So please take a look in our website. You will see all the guidelines. I have also shared a form in the chat box. Feel free to share your comments and suggestions for us. And yeah, with that, we will call it a day. I will be sharing with you the webinar recording and the presentation slides as well as the summary notes from today's discussion. Thank you for joining us.